The first thing you look at in the morning is a spiritual doorway. And if the first thing you see when you open your eyes is your phone emails, news, text messages, social media, you just handed the enemy the keys to your emotions, your focus, and every financial decision you will make for the next 16 hours. I have counseled over 300 Jewish families, millionaires, billionaires, business owners who tithe faithfully and pray every Sabbath. And I can tell you this without hesitation, the ones who are at peace, the ones whose businesses grow even in recession, the ones whose marriages are strong, they all follow one ancient rule. First prayer, then food, then phone. Never phone first. Now I want you to do something. Type the word Baruch in the comments. It means blessed. And when you type it, you are making a covenant with heaven that you will not let chaos enter your spirit before you enter God's presence. And then press the like button. Because every time you press like, you are telling YouTube's algorithm to release this message to someone who is about to make a terrible decision tomorrow morning. Subscribe to this channel, because what I am teaching here is not motivation. It is ancient wisdom that has kept the Jewish people alive for 3,000 years. And it will keep your family alive in the chaos that is coming. Let me tell you what is happening in the invisible realm when you reach for that phone before you reach for God. You wake up. Your soul has just spent 8 hours outside of time somewhere between this world and the next. The rabbis teach that sleep is 1/60th of death. When you wake up, you are being born again. You are fragile, spiritually naked. Your defenses are down. And the very first thing you consume, whether it is a word, an image, a thought, that first thing imprints on your soul like a seals on warm wax. If the first thing you consume is bad news, your nervous system floods with cortisol. If it is an angry email, your heart rate spikes. If it is social media, you enter into comparison, into envy, into the trap of measuring your life against everyone else's highlight reel. And you do not even realize it, but you just agreed with a spirit of fear. You just said yes to anxiety. You just opened a portal. The phone is not neutral. It is a portal, and whoever controls the portal controls your peace. I am going to be very direct with you right now because I love you too much to let you keep walking into this trap. If you are struggling with anxiety, if you cannot focus, if you make impulsive financial decisions, if you feel like you are always reacting instead of leading your life, go back and look at your mornings. Because I promise you the chaos is entering before you even get out of bed. The Torah says in Psalm 5 verse 3, "In the morning, O Lord, you will hear my voice. In the morning, I will order my prayer to you and eagerly watch." Did you catch that? In the morning? Not in the afternoon after 16 crises. Not at night when you are exhausted. In the morning, first thing, because the morning sets the tone. King David understood something that we have forgotten. He understood that the first voice you hear in the morning becomes the loudest voice in your day. If the first voice is God's voice through prayer, through scripture, through worship, then when the enemy comes later with fear or accusation or bad news, you will recognize it as a foreign voice. But if the first voice is chaos, If the first voice is the world screaming at you through your phone, then God's voice becomes the foreign one, and you spend the whole day spiritually confused. Let me tell you what Jewish families teach their children from the age of 5. The moment you open your eyes before your feet touch the floor, you say the Modeh Ani. It is a prayer of gratitude. I give thanks to you, living and eternal King, for you have mercifully restored my soul within me. Great is your faithfulness. 12 seconds. That is all it takes. 12 seconds to recalibrate your spirit. 12 seconds to remind yourself that you did not wake up by accident. You woke up because God has a purpose for you today. And then, only then, you get out of bed. You wash your hands ritually. You open the Word. You pray. And after you have fortified your spirit, after you have put on the armor of God, then you can pick up the phone. Because now you are not fragile anymore. Now you are covered. The great Rabbi Nachman of Breslov once said, "The world is a narrow bridge, and the main thing is not to be afraid." Kiss! And when I first heard this as a young man, I did not understand it. But after 60 years of studying Torah and watching people, I finally see it. The world is trying to make you afraid every single morning. The news wants you afraid. The bills want you afraid. The arguments, the sickness, the uncertainty, it all wants you afraid. But if you start your day in the presence of God, fear cannot take root. Because you have already established who is in control. Here is the spiritual law that most people do not understand. Your morning routine is not just a habit, it is a covenant. Every single morning you are making a decision. Am I going to set the agenda for this day? Or am I going to let the world set it for me? Am I going to lead my emotions, or am I going to be led by whatever pops up on my screen? I have watched this destroy marriages. A husband wakes up, grabs his phone, sees a work email that makes him angry, and he brings that anger to the breakfast table. His wife did nothing wrong, but now she is dealing with a man whose spirit is already in turmoil. I have watched this destroy businesses. An entrepreneur wakes up, scrolls through social media, sees a competitor's success, and spends the whole day in insecurity instead of in strategy. I have watched this block financial breakthroughs. A woman wakes up, checks the news, sees the stock market crashing, and makes a fear-based decision that costs her everything. And here is the part that breaks my heart. Most people do not even realize they are doing it. They think it is normal. They think everyone does it. They think it is just staying informed. But let me tell you something, there is a difference between being informed and being infected. And when you let the chaos in before you let God in, you are not informed. You are infected. Now let me give you the 60-second morning ritual that will protect you from this trap. And I want you to write this down. Do not just hear it, write it. Because writing is a form of covenant. Step 1. The moment you open your eyes before you do anything else, say out loud, "Thank you, God, for giving me another day. My breath is yours. My time is yours. This day belongs to you." 7 seconds. That is all it takes. But those 7 seconds shift the entire spiritual atmosphere of your bedroom. You just announced to every demonic force that this day is under divine jurisdiction. Step 2. Get out of bed. Do not reach for the phone. Walk to the sink. Wash your hands. In Jewish tradition, we wash our hands the moment we wake up, because sleep is like a mini death, and washing is like a mini resurrection. You are cleansing yourself from the realm of the night. You are preparing to step into the realm of the living. And as you wash, you say, I am clean. I am ready. I am yours. Step 3. Open the Bible, not your phone. The Bible. Psalm 23, Psalm 91, Proverbs 3. Whatever passage you need for that season, read it out loud. Let the Word become the first voice in your day. And here is the secret. When you read it out loud, you are not just consuming information. You are releasing sound. You are vibrating the atmosphere. You are speaking life over yourself before the world can speak death. 60 seconds, that is all I am asking. 60 seconds to set the foundation. And then after you pray, after you read, after you establish the tone, then you can pick up the phone. But now you are not a victim. Now you are a warrior. Before I go any further, I need you to do something. Type the word Shalom in the comments right now, not because it is a tradition, but because you are making a declaration. Shalom does not just mean peace. It means wholeness, completeness, nothing missing, nothing broken. And when you type that word, you are saying, I am taking back my mornings. I am taking back my peace. I am not giving the enemy access to my mind before I give God access to my heart. Let me tell you a story. 3 years ago, a man came to me, successful businessman, multi-millionaire. But he was on the edge of a nervous breakdown. He could not sleep. He could not focus. His marriage was falling apart. He said to me, Rabbi, I pray, I go to synagogue, I tithe, but I feel like I am cursed. I asked him one question. What is the first thing you do when you wake up? He said, I check my emails. I said, that is your problem. He looked at me like I was crazy. He said, Rabbi, I run a business. I have to check my emails. I said, you do not have to check them before you check in with God. He did not believe me, but he was desperate, so he agreed to try it. For 30 days, he committed no phone until after prayer. First thing, Modeh Ani, wash hands, read Psalm 91, pray, then phone. 3 weeks later, he called me. He was crying. He said, Rabbi, my anxiety is gone. I do not know how to explain it. I still have the same problems, the same business pressures, the same financial challenges, but I am not afraid anymore. I feel like I am walking on solid ground for the first time in years. That is the power of the morning. That is the power of setting the spiritual tone before the world tries to set it for you. The great Maimonides, one of the most brilliant minds in Jewish history, once said, the beginning of wisdom is the awareness that everything begins with God. And when I first read this, I thought it was just philosophy. But it is not philosophy. It is strategy. It is spiritual warfare. Because if everything begins with God, then your day must begin with God. Your decisions must begin with God. Your finances must begin with God. And if they do not, then you are building on sand. Here is what the enemy does not want you to know. He does not care if you pray at night. He does not care if you go to church on Sunday. What he cares about is the morning. Because if he can capture your morning, he can control your day. If he can fill your mind with fear, anxiety, comparison, and chaos in the first 15 minutes, then you will spend the rest of the day trying to recover. You will be reacting instead of leading. You will be defending instead of advancing. And he wins. But when you take back your morning, when you establish that the first voice you hear is God's voice, everything shifts. Your discernment sharpens. Your peace stabilizes. Your decisions become clearer. And the breakthroughs that have been blocked for years suddenly start to break open. I want to speak directly to you right now. If you are watching this video, it is not an accident. You did not find this video. This video found you. And the reason it found you is because heaven is trying to get your attention. God is saying, I need you sharp. I need you focused. I need you at peace. Because I am about to open doors that you have been praying for. But if your spirit is in chaos every morning, you will not have the discernment to walk through those doors when they open. Right now, as you are watching this, there is a shift happening in the invisible realm. Angels are being assigned. Strategies are being downloaded. Opportunities are being prepared. But you have to be spiritually ready to receive them. And you cannot be spiritually ready if the first thing you do every morning is drown yourself in chaos. Let me give you one more piece of ancient wisdom. In Kabbalah, there is a teaching about the Shechinah, the presence of God. The rabbis teach that the Shechinah rests most powerfully in the early morning, in those quiet moments before the world wakes up. That is why Jewish prayers are most potent at dawn. That is why King David said, In the morning I will order my prayer to you and eagerly watch. He was watching for the Shechinah. He was waiting for the presence. And here is what breaks my heart. The presence is available every single morning. God is waiting for you. But most people miss it because they are scrolling, they are checking, they are consuming, and the presence passes by. I am going to say something that might offend you, but I love you too much not to say it. If you say you love God, but the first thing you reach for in the morning is your phone, you are lying. Not to me, to yourself. Because what you reach for first reveals what you worship. And if you worship peace, if you worship clarity, if you worship breakthrough, then you will reach for the one who gives those things. But if you reach for chaos, if you reach for anxiety, if you reach for the opinions of people who do not even know you, then that is your God. I am not trying to condemn you. I am trying to free you. Because I have watched too many people sabotage their own destiny. Because they could not discipline their mornings. Here is my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, commit to this. No phone for the first 60 seconds. Modeh Ani. Wash hands. Read one psalm. Pray one prayer. Then phone. 7 days. That is all I am asking. And I promise you by day 7, you will feel the difference. Your anxiety will decrease. Your clarity will increase. Your decisions will improve. And you will wonder how you ever lived any other way. And if you do this for 7 days and you want to go deeper, I want you to do something else. Write down Psalm 91 on a piece of paper, not on your phone, on paper, and put it next to your bed. And every morning before your feet touch the floor, read it out loud. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Let that be the first noun that comes out of your mouth. Let that be the declaration that sets the tone. May the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob open the gates of heaven over your life. May He surround you with His peace that passes all understanding. May He give you the wisdom to guard your mornings, to protect your mind, and to walk in the authority He has given you. May every door that the enemy has closed be opened. May every chain that has held you in anxiety be broken. And may you walk into the fullness of everything God has prepared for you starting tomorrow morning. Subscribe to this channel because I am going to keep releasing the ancient secrets that the modern church forgot. Share this video with someone who needs to take back their mornings. And leave a comment telling me what is the first thing you are going to say tomorrow when you open your eyes. Shalom.